Hello, Christina.
Hi.
We have a live studio audience today.
We certainly do.
I feel like it's the most unexciting live studio audience, but
They may or may not be napping right now.
we're not alone.
Correct.
Garfield is here. And that's truly all we need to
I see
say.
at least one patch of beans.
He's got those.
Yeah. He's flashing them right now.
Yeah, good for him. Happy Pride. Speaking of Pride, we have some questions from last week.
Yeah.
We actually had two. One, what is your favorite part of Pride? And two, what movie would you like to see turned into a TV show?
Right.
Which one? What's your favorite part of Pride, Christina?
Just the fact that it exists at all.
That's fair.
I'm very happy that Pride is a whole ass month that exists in people's lives.
You and me both. I think my favorite part of Pride is just getting to see everybody come out in full-fledged time. Like, it's very much a time for the people.
Mm.
So similar, but like different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody, I feel like LGBT people are very much, like, people that are out all the time. But like when Pride rolls around, it's very exciting.
All the colors.
All the colors, we come
Get
out
hit.
full force.
Yeah.
It's a great time.
Great.
What movie do you want to see turned into a TV show?
Big Fish. You do you not know what that is?
No, I do know what that is.
Oh, okay. Why are you upset?
Because I don't care for Big Fish.
Really?
It's one of those things that I really do not like. I despised having to see the play.
Interesting.
Or I guess it's a musical. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times and I'm just not my thing. Not my jam.
I don't know. I like the movie.
That's fair.
It's a good movie.
I don't think I've seen the movie since I was a very small child, so I'm hoping that was better than the play musical situation.
I don't know. I've never seen the play or the musical situation at all. I've just seen the movie, and it's a happy, fun, interesting movie.
Okay. Why do you want to see it turned into a TV show?
It's my second favorite movie. I don't have many movies in my back pocket. I don't even have back pockets in these pants.
What's your favorite movie, Christina?
The Prestige. But that would be a really terrible TV
The
series.
Prestige. I've never seen this.
No?
No.
Oh, I finally found a movie that I know that you don't.
Oh, wow.
Like, it could be a good series, I suppose, but it'd be
What the
pretty
hell
short.
Is it about?
It is
It could
about
be a miniseries.
magicians
Oh, okay.
and how committed they are to their performance, how committed they are to making their own illusions work.
That actually sounds really interesting.
It is really interesting. Hugh Jackman's in it, and Christian Bale's in it.
Okay.
And I think Scarlett Johansson might be in it, too.
What a weird group. I'm kind of into it. Okay. There might be mild spoilers before we actually see the movie, but mine's very, very specific.
Of course it is, because why wouldn't it be?
So, City of Angels.
Uh-huh. There it is.
I would want to see... So, in the end, after Nicolas Cage, like, spoiler alert if you've never seen City of Angels, basically the whole premise is Nicolas Cage is an angel and he falls in love with Meg Ryan, who's a human.
Right, okay.
And decides to fall from grace, essentially, and become a person. And, like, live life as a person.
Okay.
For her and to fall in love and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I assumed it wasn't just because he was like, it's Tuesday.
Yeah. And, like, the ending is really, really tragic. But I kind of want to see, like, life after the tragedy. Like, how he would go on and, like, live as a person. Because we don't really get much insight to, like, how he's a person. And, like, just... Like, because he falls from grace. He has no social security number. He has no license. Like, he knows how to do nothing. Like, in the movie, we see him have a hot shower for the first time. Because he's, like, never experienced this. Like, so it's just, I want to see him experience all the things.
Okay.
I think it'd be very, very
Have, like,
good.
a Buddy the Elf situation.
Sure.
Where he's finally experiencing humans, things, you know.
Yeah.
He eats spaghetti for the first time. He has Pop-Tarts for the first time. He
Sure.
wears normal people clothes for the first time.
Yeah.
You
Sure,
know,
yeah.
Stuff like that.
Pretty much.
Okay. Cool.
Speaking of things for the first time,
Yeah.
I got to see Korean wrestling. You were there.
I was. I encouraged it, in fact. I've been trying to get you to watch Korean wrestling for like a year.
I know. It doesn't help that they just didn't exist for a minute.
They existed. They were just not putting on that many shows. And, like, I think they were in the works of getting their own place, which we ended up going to.
Yeah, it was awesome. Shout out to the Pro Wrestling Society of Korea.
Yeah.
You can find them on Instagram at PWS Korea.
I believe so.
I have some videos that I can put up on the Instagram.
Yeah. Do that.
So if you want to see those, follow us on at the Wonder Monkeys on Instagram. I don't know. Going into it from having the background of being a small child who watched the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Emphasis on a small child.
Right. That was me too.
Like, it was fake on TV. The older I got, like, the faker it got.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much worse in person.
These are also amateurs.
Yes.
Like, they're pro wrestling society of Korea, but I don't know if they're being paid. I don't know if they're volunteering their time. I have no idea. They put a lot of work and effort into it, for sure.
Yes.
But
good turnout.
Yeah, it was really good. But they're just a group of people that are trying their best.
Yeah, they're doing great. Like,
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
It's pure entertainment. Are we both struggling with our throats today?
Yeah, I'm just like all full of carbonation, and my body doesn't know what to do with itself. No, it was really good. They were great with costumes. I was not expecting all the white people.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
The British people wrestling.
Oh, the wrestlers. Yeah.
Yeah.
They generally don't have white people be the good guys.
No,
Like,
never.
It does happen every once in a while, but very rarely.
My favorite were the dog people. What were they called?
Dog Nation.
Dog Nation.
With
thank
a
you.
W.
Dog Nation.
And
They
then
were from
there
London.
was Top Dog.
And Scum Dog.
Scum Dog, that was the other one.
And they had very clearly hand-painted outfits.
Oh, yeah.
I have a really, like, half-blurry picture of just the guy's ass that says Slum Dog or Scum Dog. Because I was like, there's no way. There's no way that I can be the only one who's witnessing this right now. Everybody needs to see this.
Right.
And then one of the Korean wrestlers from Minneapolis.
Yeah, one of them was.
That threw me. And then the fact that the guy that you guys really like, he's from Texas. He's just a white dude. I was really expecting him to be Korean.
I don't... Are you talking about Omerta?
Yeah.
I just have a shirt. That was like the only size that they had that was bigger than medium.
Oh, okay.
And they're Korean sizes, so that doesn't
So
help.
they're itty bitty.
Yeah.
The new
found
era.
out my size is actually large. I told you so wrong at the thing. I thought it was like an XL or a double X or something.
You know,
I was
it's
wrong.
all good. But it was so fun, and they had like a whole turnout. They had like alcohol and food, and like they needed air conditioning.
They really, really did. And they needed a better sound system, too. They just had, like, big speakers in the corners.
Even if they were mounted up higher, they would
Yeah.
have been immensely better.
Right. That's what I'm getting at, is they already have a grid for lighting. So they may as well invest in, like, I don't know, 6, 7 for that space.
Yeah. There wasn't-
Speakers, like small ones.
Yeah.
Just to even it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that was right in my ear. Jesus Christ.
And everybody was having a bad time, and I was just sitting there like, this is great.
You've been to too many concerts, ma'am. Your hearing is compromised.
Yeah. So, like, I've been to numerous concerts where, you know, the gigantic concert speakers?
Yeah.
Where I was standing right next to those.
Nope. No thanks.
So, just the whole time I was... And, like, if Jake was a normal, like, person length away from me, I could hear him. But if he was, like, right in my ear, I couldn't fucking hear what he was saying.
See, and that's so weird, because that man is the quietest speaker I've ever heard in my entire life, and you can hear him no problem when it comes to everyday stuff. At all.
I'm conditioned. I live with him. I think I have to listen to it.
True, but if your hearing is to the point where big, giant speaker right next to you, blaring with a British man's voice going, ah! right in your ear, that doesn't bother you. But then you can, fine-tune it to where you can hear a little whisper in the little corner of the room saying, hey, this is a joke that I'm telling you, and also I'm your husband. If that is your reality, wild.
It was interesting. It was good.
Wise words.
I'm a fan of the Minnesota guy who was in a tag team against. Was he against the Dog Nation or whatever?
Yeah, I think so. I think wasn't he the one in the leather jacket?
Yeah, he sure was. And then I liked one of the Dog Nation guys. Looked like if Austin Butler didn't make it. Famous. He just looked like Austin Butler as a normal guy.
That's fair.
And then there was the other guy that looked like an outsider's reject that never really grew up.
Oh.
And now works in HR.
Yeah, what did I say? Greg from HR?
Yeah. And that man wore the least amount of clothing of them all.
Yeah. He committed.
He definitely made a choice.
To the bit, for sure. So were those your, top 3?
Yes, I think. And I wanted to see the girls wrestle, and they didn't wrestle.
Well, didn't he say that they were going to make their debut?
Yeah.
Next week or
the week after or
month after or something. Yeah. So it doesn't surprise me that they didn't do a lot, but they did do a little. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. The last time Steven and I went, the girls didn't really do anything at all. One of them just dressed up like cosplay and was posing and everything, and she was not Korean. And then the other woman that was there was Korean, and she went on stage like that one guest did.
Yeah.
And yelled, and then nothing happened, and then she ran away. So,
you know what I really wasn't ready for?
What were you not ready for?
The steel chairs. It was all so fake. And then they just start fully beating each other with steel chairs. That wasn't fake. They were legitimately making contact.
Yeah.
And I was like, God forbid you get an elbow actually to the shoulder, but I will hit you with a steel chair. And it's fine.
I'm assuming they are specialty chairs.
I'm assuming.
And it's not.
Still.
I was a big fan of the one in the purple getup where he just he took it off and he had the giant mask on that was gold and white.
Oh, the guy who looked like a bug?
Sure. Yeah, him.
Jake leaned over to me. He was like, here comes the flashing mantis or something. I don't know. He made up some bug name for him.
Fantastic.
But go on.
I liked him strictly because he was so athletic. He was moving around a lot. He jumped, he spun. He
was great.
He did a lot. I think
all the flips.
Yeah, if I had to guess, he was probably in gymnastics or acrobatics to some degree before he did this. So it was really cool to see that.
Yeah, it was awesome all around. And when your family's here, we can take them to see some wrestling. I think we got to go see some wrestling.
Yeah.
Speaking of people.
Yeah.
You have more family coming to town.
Yeah, on Steven's side.
Woo!
Yeah. Technically it's his cousin.
His cousin, I was going to say. I never know. But I was like, cousin's all encompassing, sure.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to go pick them up tomorrow. So that'll be exciting.
I'm very excited. I'm not ready to figure out how to do all of the parking because last time I was there in the middle of the day, there was no parking and everybody was parked illegally and you were barely squeezing by cars. It was terrifying.
Oh, great.
So we'll have an interesting time doing that.
Yeah.
But it'll be fine. It'll be great.
Yeah, we'll do it together. I mean, you'll move the wheel and push the pedals, but I will be there to support
and
with my face, and that's it.
And hopefully help me find a parking spot.
Yeah. I'll use my eyeballs. I promise.
This will be like the second time we've been at the airport in like a week.
That's a fact. We, there was an airman, actually.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And his new wife.
Like, brand spanking new wife.
Yeah, like, literally last week.
Yeah. Like, she flew in, they weren't married, and then they were. I guess that's how all marriage works. Like, but, like, one moment I knew of her as, like, the fiance, and then the next I'm hearing and going, oh, yeah, his wife. And I'm like,
when did that happen?
Where have I been? Literally, they got married here in this country, and that's why I missed it.
Yeah.
I missed the news.
Mm-hmm. And she needed to get back home. So we helped her get to the airport.
We were elected.
Stephen asked if I was comfortable doing it first. Yes. And I said, well, yeah, someone needs help. I can help.
I know how to get to the airport.
Yeah.
And we go and we pick her up. Mm-hmm. And we get in the cab. And we're just like chit-chatting. And the whole way, you were just like mocking us needing to be to the airport early. Because I think you thought you were the normal, like, get to the airport at a reasonable time.
I am the normal.
And I'm thinking the normal is people being anxious and getting there unreasonably early. And so it was nice to see that I'm not the only one.
Right. I don't think that you're the only one. I just think that there's really high anxiety people that will agree with you. And then there's really chill people that are like, if it happens, it happens.
Well, her and I I guess we had gone out to lunch with her and her husband previous to that, too. And we got on like a house on fire. I think she thought we were probably the strangest folks she had met in a minute.
Probably.
Between the culture shock of not being from the U.S. and then also
existing in Korea.
Yeah, existing here. And then us being the way that we are.
Yeah.
Like,
we're a lot sometimes.
We have enough hubris to think people actually want to listen to us talk into microphones.
Yeah. I don't know if that's working out for us so well.
I don't check our ratings.
I don't either. But I have a feeling it's not astronomical numbers.
Should I look really quick?
Do you want to hurt today?
I don't even know how to look.
Well, then I guess you're not looking. Oh, she's trying anyway. And she's giving herself background music.
Yeah.
It's not like you're on hold.
Have I told that story? The Jake's dream story?
I don't think so.
Okay,
So your husband fell asleep. My husband, like, sleep talks so bad. I guess I should preface this with, like, that man will fist fight in his sleep. Like, he tried to, like, the first night we ever, like, shared a bed together, he bear hugged me to the point where, like, I was bruised. Just a little bit on the inside. I was a little tender. Because he thought, he has these dreams where he's, like, fighting bears and, like, being chased by things and whatever. So, like, he will, like, sit bolt upright in the middle of the night. All these things, right? Right, but, like, last night I had a dream that I was biking, but I didn't physically move my body to bike.
No, he's like a dog. You know, where dogs or cats will be, like, in their brain, they're running after something.
Right.
He does it. He's like... I guess we're in a podcast. You're not gonna be able to. Like,
so much movement sounds for nothing for them.
You'll hear the rattle.
Hear the rattle.
Anywho, since we moved to Korea, like it was a little bit when we lived stateside, but here it gets bad. He sleep talks so bad, and usually it's stuff that doesn't make sense. Like, he used to work with a guy named Ferg, and he'd roll over to me like when we were in Colorado, and he'd go, "Did you give Ferg the paperwork?" And the only way to calm him down, because I'd go, what are you talking about? Whatever. And he'd get like, "Did you give Ferg the paperwork?" Like, he'd get nervous. And I'd go, "Yes, I talked to him. I gave them the paperwork." And he'd roll over and, like, go back to sleep. Like, he just needed somebody to know, like, Ferg got the paperwork, I swear.
Right.
But my favorite time ever, he sits straight up in bed. And I'm like, oh, God, he's thirsty again. Because he drinks water like a diabetic dog. Like, just in the middle. Like,
Your daughter.
Yeah, like, exactly. Like, just aggressively drinks water in the middle of the night. But he sits straight up and he's like, hello, I need to talk to, I don't know, somebody, right? And I was like, oh God, I was like, are you on the goddamn phone? Because, like, I woke up because he's talking, and I look over at him, and I'm like, you're on the phone. He's like, and then I register he's not on the phone. Yeah. He's asleep.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, sure thing, I'll hold. And starts humming hold music to himself. And then it goes on for like 30, 45 seconds of him. And he goes, sure, I'll call back. And then lays back down. And I just, like, why? Like, is that what he does at work? Is get put on hold all the time? Like, he gets put on hold so much, apparently, in the real world. He's dreaming of it.
Because, like, my dad growing up, he would do stuff. Like, he'd talk to the TV if he fell asleep in front of it or something. He would answer, like, a commercial's question.
Right. And that seems normal enough to me. Like, if you're just like semi-awake, mostly asleep.
It's environmental. Mm-hmm. But, like, Steven, every once in a while, he would do stuff. Like, he'd, like, lean in closer to me, and then he would say, like, did you take out the dry cleaning?
Did I take out the what?
The dry cleaning.
The dry cleaning?
And I'm like, what? Because I couldn't hear him, and then he said it again. So he was sort of conscious enough to, like, say, oh, she didn't hear me. And then he would repeat it. And then I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And then I would realize he's not awake. And then I'm like, you know what, honey? I did it. Don't worry about it.
Jake, I used to text him just quotes from him in the middle of the night if it was really bad, but I've started going to bed earlier, so I haven't been awake if he's been talking recently. Mm-hmm. But one time he did go, he rolls over and he's like, did you defeat the enemy? I tell you, I laughed for minutes. Just like laughing so hard I'm wheezing. Like, no sound coming out.
Right.
Did you defeat the enemy?
Is the enemy your son?
I don't know. Being that we don't fucking sleep anymore, probably.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming. And he's just passed out right now.
Let me get a picture of him.
And then disturb him like he disturbs you.
Oh, I know, right?
He is very sweet. Very cute. Look at that paw.
He's just so cute, but oh my god.
A lot.
So much.
Because he's been doing that thing, basically since your husband got home, where he just disturbs you guys in the middle of the night.
Yep.
And won't stop until you come out and give him attention and get his energy out.
Yep. And it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Jake went back to work, and he was starting to get back in the routine of, oh, Jake goes to work, whatever. And then we noticed, like, Cinder's eating most of the food, and so we decided to, like, re-divvy up the food with their automatic feeders and whatever.
Yeah.
So now he's getting confused, because instead of going off at 6 a.m., it goes off at 4 a.m., because they get just how it divvied out, right?
Yeah.
Like, they get it 6 times instead of 4 with less portion, like, less food each time. So they're eating less throughout the day, but I'm trying to trick them into thinking they're eating more.
Right.
By just eating more often. And
then he gets confused. It's
working great, but then he gets confused at 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
when it goes off, and then nobody's getting up. Because
right.
It used to go off at 6, and Jake would either be getting up or have already been up for like a half hour.
Right.
So now he's like, what the fuck? Where is my cuddles? Where is my company?
Right.
It's morning. And it's not. And, like, the easiest solution has just been for me to get up and go sleep on the couch for an hour. And then or 2 or whatever it is. And then when Jake gets up, we tag team out and he goes to work and I go back to bed.
I can't imagine that couch is that comfortable.
It kind of sucks. But I've gotten some of my best sleep on that couch.
Nuts.
So it's one of those things where it's like, do I like getting up in the middle of the night? No, not really. But if we're all going to sleep, I'll get up.
Okay.
And then this morning, they were across the way out my back porch. They're demoing this, what used to be a small children's park. And they've got their jackhammers out. And at 7 this morning, right as I go back to bed from my Garfield-induced haze, they start jackhammering all the concrete up. And I'm losing it, Christina.
And, like, generally, Koreans and businesses in Korea, there's no way anybody's up.
No.
There's no reason
Nothing
for them to
opens.
be up that early, so they don't get up that early.
No.
They, like, businesses normally open at, like, 9 or 10 or 11.
So it makes sense. You might be just getting up
Yeah.
at 7 a.m.
Right. So they're pretty much disturbing everybody because they're not awake yet.
Yeah.
But it's summer, so you gotta beat the heat. I get it, but also we sleeping over here. We're trying.
We're trying.
I'm
And
so
just because
sorry.
of like how our buildings are set up, it echoes so bad.
Oh no.
And like I get they're trying to do it quickly,
Yeah.
but this is like the 3rd day in a row.
Is it?
They've been doing it later in the day though. So usually
Oh.
it's like everybody's getting home from work.
Okay.
And so we're like, okay, fine, whatever, I get it.
Right.
But this was like the 3rd day in a row of it happening. But the first time they're like, 7 a.m., bitches, let's go! And I get they probably did it later in the day because we're right next to a church. So they probably didn't want to disturb church services in the morning.
Yeah.
But oh my God. Speaking of things that make me say, oh my God. Jake and Steven found out about our inside joke. And I'm so ashamed. I'm not ashamed. It's less, like, it's, like, the looks that they give us. Okay, so I guess we should explain the joke.
Probably, yeah.
So,
there's a person
there's a person,
in our lives.
like, in the sphere of living in Korea specifically.
Yes. And
He's
we're not
got-
gonna tell you his real name.
Oh, no. But he is just, like, the most average individual. And I love him.
Yeah, so much.
So much. He's so kind. He's
Wonderful,
like,
really.
caring. He's just a really nice guy.
Yeah.
He like actually speaks to us as if we're people and isn't like scared because oh my God, that's a woman, right? Like,
Right.
It's wonderful. Like every potluck I go to, if he's there, he'll talk to me. He'll say hi, how you been, all that good stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
Which is so hard to get
Truthfully.
because
Most soldiers they look at us and they're like, oh God, genitalia that's not mine? What do I do?
a woman that I can't flirt with, gotta go.
Right.
Like,
It's like they break and they
Yeah.
just stare at us like deer in headlights and then they shift their bodies
and then
anywhere
this
else.
guy, who we're fondly going to call Bob on the podcast, is just like, I know women. I have moms. Like, whatever. He's just
Happy
like,
Pride, my dude.
Happy Pride. Like, shout out lesbian moms. But it's just like, you know. Like,
Yeah.
you're just a person. He's like, I work with women. Like, whatever. You know, he's just a fun guy. But did I say this when I was drunk? How did this come about? I don't even remember.
I don't know. I can't remember.
But I was like, that guy absolutely fucks. And I just meant along the lines of, he's a great dude to hang out with. Like, he's awesome.
And then I think
10 out of 10.
Like, you meant it that way, and then I think you questioned yourself. You're like, wait a
was
minute,
like,
that could
wait.
be taken wrong.
was
And then
like,
you
wait, I shouldn't have
explained it. And you were like, well, wait, I don't know.
Bob Johnson, that guy fucks. So we picked the most generic name we could find. So,
Yeah.
Bob Johnson, not a real guy.
Right.
However, for the sake of this podcast, that guy fucks.
Quite.
And so now we say that all the time if anything's great.
Yeah.
Anything, like, oh, your dinner's really good? You know what? Bob Johnson fucks, too. Like, it's just like an exclamation of, this is really great. But then the boys started listening to the words that we were actually saying, and they got over us saying that something fucks and focused in on the name.
Yeah. And now,
Also, and I think part of it was because I was surprised by the actual guy's first name. because I
that's what it was.
It didn't click in my brain
that's
that
what it
like
was.
I was like, that's a fake person name. That's like if an alien came to the world and was like, I need a name.
Oh, you know what? I think there's the minority leader or majority leader in the Senate. Mm-hmm. Like as soon as they took
Same
over
name?
from Mitch McConnell, his name is Mike Johnson.
Oh.
And everybody was like, that's a robot. I don't care what you say. That's an alien. That's not a person.
Same thing. It's like,
yeah,
that's a fake name. Somebody
exactly.
picked it. That's a name like an author is using until they can actually name their character in their book. Like,
right.
But he fucks.
Beautiful.
Speaking of things that absolutely fuck. Mini golf with friends. The video game specifically.
It's so good. I don't know why it's so good. It's like, I feel like it's so basic and it should be dumb and I should hate it.
It's really dumb.
It's really fun though.
Because you get to like pick your ball.
What a weird thing to say.
And you get to like, you unlock them as you play, right?
Uh-huh.
So like, I like the one I use looks like a gumball.
Right.
Or like there's one that looks kind of like a beach ball.
Right.
Or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then they have hats. And so you get to pick your little hat.
Uh-huh.
And then they have trails. So like when you hit them, you can see where they go.
Right.
And then they have boats.
Little float things. So
like,
that when you hit it in the water, it just floats along and it doesn't sink. And it's cute.
I use the goose.
Every time.
Every time. Religiously, I use the goose. And, like, Steven every time religiously uses the Triceratops hat. Mm-hmm. It's a big skull of a Triceratops.
With a rowboat.
With a rowboat all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Jake actually changes his up, though, so I can't
Yeah.
say for certain.
I change mine, too.
You know.
As much as I can. Not everything's unlocked.
Yeah. Once we start actually unlocking shit, and it's slow going. You gotta play, like, 6 games before something gets unlocked.
Mm.
And then you got that stupid hat that looks...
It's like, it's a baseball cap.
And
That's essentially what it is, but it doesn't fit on the ball like you would think.
It just, like, hovers.
Like, it takes the ball itself exists, and then you stop exactly where the ball stops at the very top, and you place the hat exactly there.
And they're just, like, barely touching.
Yeah. It's so stupid.
And
then you switched it to gold.
We unlocked the golden hat.
Right, and then you were like, well, you're already wearing that hat, so let's make it golden. Looks like a construction hat now, thank you.
Happy Father's Day. And that's all the Father's Day content you get from me.
Fantastic.
I've got a fantastic father-in-law, and I've got a fantastic surrogate human.
Right.
And I sometimes claim your dad.
Mine, specifically?
Just in this instant, right now.
Oh, okay,
Happy Father's Day, Dad. Did you text your father Happy Father's Day?
I can't. He does not internet.
No Happy Father's Day from us. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what else to do about that. Except send him a gift and hope for the best.
Did you send him a gift?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Did it arrive on time?
No.
Probably not, no.
None of mine did either. Don't worry.
Great.
I got a email today from Etsy for my father-in-law's gift. We got him t-shirts. We always get him stupid dad t-shirts. Because that's his brand.
Right.
He lives in the Midwest. Of course, that's his brand.
Of course.
And I got an email. They're like, they're almost there. And I was like, great.
See, and I feel like, no diss on your father-in-law, but I feel like if you're the kind of guy that wears dad jokes, you're not very good at saying them. So you have to express it through clothing.
You're not wrong.
I knew it. I knew it.
He's
probably a very nice, sweet man.
He is.
But he can't, he doesn't like...
I think it's I don't know how to talk to people in your generation.
Because like when he was here, he seemed very socially awkward when the only time I saw him.
Yep. He was mostly nice. Around.
But not...
He's
not that dude that just comes up with the dad jokes and says them out loud to people.
No.
I don't know why he's not that dude, but that's just what I get. Shake, shake, shake. Wild. So what have we learned today?
That lesbian moms are the coolest.
Lesbian moms fuck?
Yeah, they do.
Is that what I'm hearing?
The lesbian moms absolutely fuck. Also, you know, speaking of things that fuck, the game, This Little Man.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right.
It's a game
Talk
you can play with.
smack all you want. Do it. I'm not good at this game.
It's a game that you can play with your friends. So, to start it, everybody has to know the rules.
Yeah.
And then you can start it anywhere, anytime. So you walk up to a guy, like your friend, like I'd walk up to Christina, like with my fingers pinched together, and I would go, here's this little man. Mm-hmm. And she would hopefully hold her hands out and take him from me. And that's how you know you're ready to play. So you place your fake little man into the other player's hands, right? And so they get to ask 20 questions about this person, and you can decide if they're really, really specific or if they're really broad.
Right.
And you always give a category. Like, we like playing actors.
Right.
Because that's a space we both know a lot about.
Yeah.
So I go, here. So we played when we were at the wrestling, and I was like, here's this little man. He is an actor. And boy, howdy. You struggled.
I didn't do well. I am not ashamed, honestly, because here's the thing. Not everybody likes that man. Not everybody was into him. Not everybody grew up with that man.
Okay.
So some of us forgot about him, to be honest.
So the little man was Tim Curry.
Yeah.
So,
it's not that I disliked him. I just didn't.
No.
He wasn't in my space.
But you asked questions. I was like, okay, I gotta start giving you a hint. Like, okay, he's British. He's, like, anciently decrepit. And, you know, he...
That's kind of all you told me.
I feel like I gave you another hint. Anyway, you didn't make it. You didn't get there.
Not even close.
But the fun part is, if they don't get it, at the end you get to go, give me my little Tim Curry back. Or whatever.
You have never once done that to me because I think you feel bad for me.
I do. But with Steven, when he gets, like, really close, but, like, he'll get in, like, really close, like, really adjacent, like... Can I help you?
Beautiful.
But, like, so and then you get to, like, aggressively take your little man back. But then you get, like, I posed the same question to Steven. He got it in 6 questions.
And he grew up with that man. I'm so happy for him.
I will even say he got it in 5 questions because he's like, does this man have brown hair? And I'm like, technically, yes, but his well-known roles, he has black hair. So, do with that what you will. He got it.
Did he even need to know that he was British?
No. But I gave it to him as a courtesy because I give it to you too.
Well, you know what?
I forgot I had the sad trombone button.
Well, you know what? I don't have to be great at this game, but I will play it every single time, and I will try my very best.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. It's a really good time. Like, it's a really good time passer.
Yeah.
Like, and you can do it with anything. You go, here's this little guy, and it's a reptile. Yeah. Or, like, whatever your sphere of...
I think the very first one that you did with me was a mouse.
It was.
And we had been talking about actors previously. So I was going the actor route, and you didn't give me any information.
No, it was like,
you were just like, nope, it's not them.
This is a little rodent. I'm literally holding a field mouse. Send help. And you kept going, is it Tom Cruise?
God. He doesn't need to show up in every single episode. It's not necessary.
Maybe he'll sponsor us one day.
Oh, dear God, I hope not. I hope not. I don't need that.
Have to run Scientology ads at the beginning of the episode.
Gross.
That'd be real bad.
We start the next episode acting like it's Scientology.
That would be so funny. Anyway, do you have any questions for the week?
I can't think of a damn thing.
I got one.
Oh, great.
So, it's going off with the little guy.
Okay.
If you could carry around, you get, so you know like how you have like the devil and the angel on your shoulder? Mm-hmm. My son, can you not? I'm trying to film a podcast.
Every time he licks himself closer to the back of his head, it looks like he's about to chomp on himself. He just opens his mouth so wide and he goes, Rah!
He's trying to clean his upper arms. But,
he gets me every time. Anyway,
so you know how
little
you
guy.
have like a devil and an angel on your shoulder in like some movies? It's like the little cliche.
Yeah,
and you get to hear them, and they get to give you advice.
Yeah, like Kronk.
Yeah. Who would your devil and who would your angel be?
Oh, God.
All right. And with that, a happy freaking Pride Month.
Happy freaking Pride Month.
Lesbian moms and Bob Johnson fuck, and this has been your episode.
Beautiful.
Love you. Goodbye.
Love you. Bye.